Now we'll compute the diameter of a binary tree. So what is the diameter for a tree? So diameter of a binary tree is the length of the longest path between any two nodes in the tree. And what is the length of a path between two nodes? It's the number of edges between them. So if we consider the node 5 and 4, so the number of edges between these two nodes is 1 plus 1, 2. If we consider this the node 4 and 3, so the number of edges between 4 and 3 is 1, 2, and 3. So the length between this 4 and 3 node is 3. So what is the diameter for this node, for this binary tree? It is basically will be 3, because this, if we consider these two nodes, so the length between these two nodes is the maximum. Now we want to see how do you want to code this. So for each node, so we know that the diameter may or may not cross through the root, right? So for each node we can compute the diameter, and each node we can compute the diameter, and we can have a basically a separate global class level variable. Let's say we call it left diameter. Initially it is 0. So first we need some helper function for this diameter. So I'll come to this main method later. Let's create a diameter helper function. And it will take a node, which is an optional of tree node, and it will return an integer, right? And if the node is null or not node, we can return 0. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll calculate the left diameter and the right diameter separately. Let's call the self dot diameter helper of node dot left, and similarly right diameter for the right node. So once we have the left and right diameter, so what will be the diameter for this current node? It will be the sum of left diameter plus right diameter plus 1, because we are considering this diameter is passing through this node. Right diameter for this node, or considering that the diameter passes through this current node, will be L diameter plus R diameter plus 1. So we don't know if this is the actual tree diameter, right? So we'll just update this diameter, this class level diameter parameter, as max of this diameter and the currently calculated diameter for this node. Right. So this is a recursive function, but if we want to pass some value from any node to its parent node, what value we should pass? We should pass basically the maximum depth of the current node, right? So that will be max of L diameter or I diameter plus 1, right? So first one for this one for the current node. So once we have this diameter helper, basically in this main function, we can just call self dot diameter helper with root, and we already assigned this self diameter with the correct diameter value, so we can just return this self dot diameter. Okay. So let's run this. Okay. Okay, there is one problem here. So the length here is defined as the number of edges between two nodes, right? But the way we have calculated the length is basically we considered the nodes, number of nodes. So the output here is basically the number of nodes we got. But we know that for a binary tree, the number of edges is basically the number of nodes minus 1, right? So in this case, we can just return self dot diameter minus 1 and it will give our answer. Okay, this has passed. Let's submit this. Okay, it is accepted.